Welcome back to another explainer brought to you by Forge College. So, in our last lesson on analyzing and visualizing results, we really got into the weeds, right? Spotting vulnerabilities and parsing all that data. Well, today we're taking all of that raw analysis and turning it into a master architectural blueprint for your capstone project. We are officially moving out of the theory phase and strapping on our hard hats for some serious construction. Okay, picture this. Imagine you just launched your brilliantly coded ERC-721 token. You're feeling great, and then you have to sit there and watch some malicious actor completely drain its utility. Why? Because they literally just copy-pasted an old access request. I mean, that is absolute nightmare fuel, right? So how do you stop a replay attack dead in its tracks? That's exactly what we're tackling today by building a foolproof, layered integration roadmap for your decentralized identity systems. You'll actually be able to sleep at night. Here is our exact blueprint for today. We'll start with the capstone blueprint, then break down the identity stack layers, map out a phased integration roadmap, walk through a verified access NFT scenario, cover hardening and security checklists, and finally wrap up by preparing for your capstone. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the capstone blueprint, moving from analysis to architecture. Look, we need to synthesize everything we've learned about security threats, like those pesky unsigned or replayable assertions we've talked about, into a concrete, actionable plan. And to avoid feeling totally overwhelmed by all the moving parts, we're going to focus on just 3 core deliverables: a mental model, a roadmap, and a checklist. Because without these foundational blocks, you're essentially just writing code in the dark and, well, praying it compiles. Moving right along to Section 2, the identity stack layers. And we're going to use a VIP club bouncer metaphor here, which is actually super helpful. We can really simplify decentralized identity by comparing it to the security at an exclusive VIP club. Let's break it down. First, your primitives, like the raw keys and decentralized identifiers, that's just your physical ID card. Then the attestations are the signed claims. Think of this as the grumpy bouncer physically inspecting your ID under a flashlight. Next, the policy is the actual guest list that holds your name. And finally, the application binding is your smart contract actually granting access. Basically, the velvet VIP rope unhooking so you can walk right in. Now, you might be wondering, why layer it this way? Well, separating your off-chain cryptographic verification from your on-chain logic ensures that if you decide to change your DID method later down the line, your core smart contract rules don't completely break. By keeping the heavy lifting, like those complex signature checks, off-chain and keeping the policy rules on-chain, you create these beautiful, reusable modules. It's incredibly efficient, and honestly, more importantly, it saves a ton of money on gas limits. And we all know nobody likes crying over gas fees. Okay, Section 3, our phased integration roadmap, where we actually sequence the build. The absolute golden rule here. You must test your primitive layers completely before you ever bind them to token behaviors. This minimizes the blast radius of any mistakes you might make. Think of this timeline like a weekly developer sprint. You start with scoping your identity needs in the discovery phase, then foundation, where you implement primitives. Next up is policy and revocation, followed by application binding, and you cap it all off with automated tests and hardening. Seriously, never, ever jump to binding before your foundation is rock solid. Let's lock in on a massive security concept right now: replay resistance. Remember our bouncer? Think of this like that bouncer rejecting an expired 2-for-1 drink coupon. By utilizing nonces, which, if you didn't know, are just numbers used once, alongside strict timestamps, you mathematically guarantee that a scammer can't just screenshot yesterday's valid access pass and try to use it today. And right next to that, we have revocation. This is essentially updating the guest list on the fly, or honestly, just firing the bouncer entirely. It's how you pull the plug when an issuer gets compromised. If you assume a claim is valid forever, you are basically leaving your front door wide open. Section 4 already. Let's look at a specific scenario: a verified access NFT, and put this blueprint into practice. Imagine we're building an ERC-721 collection that requires owning a token plus a verified email to access a highly exclusive private channel. By mapping out these inputs in advance, you guarantee your verification gate is totally flawless before you write a single line of token logic. A valid attestation with a fresh timestamp? Perfect, accepted. A stale attestation with an old timestamp? Rejected. A replayed attestation trying to reuse a nonce? Absolutely rejected. Get comfortable with these test factors. They are your new best friends. Which brings us to Section 5, hardening and security checklists. This is the final review. Before we even think about launching, we have to enter the hardening phase. This checklist right here is your ultimate safety net. You need your DID resolver passing. You need your replay resistance totally locked down. You need those revocation edge cases handled. Only then do you actually check if your token state changes correctly. And, if anything, literally anything fails here, you march right back to the drawing board.
And finally, Section 6, preparing for your capstone and delivering your artifacts.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, let's look at exactly what you need to bring to your capstone planning session. Your deliverables are simple, but they are incredibly powerful. You're going to translate all these security insights into a concise one-page roadmap and a one-page security checklist featuring those exact 3 test vectors we just covered. By doing this, you're stepping into your capstone with a rigorous, bulletproof engineering plan, not just a handful of loose ideas.
So, the big question, are you ready to build the ultimate replay-resistant ERC 721 project? I think you are. You now have the mental model, the sequencing, and the safety nets to actually make it happen. To dive deeper into these engineering frameworks and explore even more advanced Web3 topics, be sure to head over to forge.college and start building your future today. Thanks for joining this Forge College Explainer, and we will see you in the next one.